Basic chord shapes are built from taking every other note in a scale and playing them together. The major triad is the chord we will build other chord types from. The major triad has a root, major third, and perfect fifth. The major third interval is 4 half steps from the root. The perfect fifth interval is 7 half steps from the root. The note that the root falls on is the name of the chord. Thus, if the root is on an A, it is called an A chord. If the root falls on a G flat, then it is called a G flat chord. A root is notated by a circled 1. The third is notated by the number 3, and the fifth by the number 5. You can also construct this triad by counting up 5 half steps per string and making the final count on the desired string. Thus, a major triad is a root, a third, which is 4 half steps above the root, and a perfect fifth, which is 7 half steps above the root. So count 5 and back 1 to 4 half steps for the third, and 5, 10, and back to 9, and 8, and 7 half steps for the fifth. Everything is now in reach and on separate strings so we can pluck or strum the chord. At this point, we only want to let these 3 strings play. Mute and or do not strike the strings not included in this basic chord shape. This triad shape and the following inversions are all movable up and down and across the fretboard. Just remember that when they cross the warp between the G and B strings, the members of the chord that cross get bumped 1 fret to the right or toward the sound hole. By taking the root of the major triad up an octave using the octave shapes, we create the first inversion with the root now the top voice of the chord. By taking the root and the third of the major triad up 1 octave, we build the second inversion. Know where the roots of each chord are. There will be a piggyback fifth and a kitty corner third next to each root as illustrated. You can create minor triads by flatting the third of a major triad. To flat a note is to take it down in pitch 1 fret or 1 half step. You can create a diminished triad by flatting the major third and the perfect fifth. You can create an augmented triad from a major triad by sharpening or raising the perfect fifth of the major triad 1 half step or 1 fret. A sus2 replaces the third with a major second, 2 half steps above the root. A sus4 replaces the third with a major fourth, 5 half steps above the root. The following chart reviews the chords that can be built from a major triad.